Hi guys, Natalie here. Hopefully you're all having an amazing day. I wanted to shoot this video and just kind of talk to you about some life-saving Disney tips for you guys. We had an amazing vacation with two 3-year-old boys and our daughter who just turned 7. We went to Disney. We did Disney for 8 days straight and we jam-packed it with as much Disney stuff as we possibly could. And we learned a lot. We found out a lot of things that saved us money, things that saved our sanity and kept the vacation fun and light and everybody getting along. And so I wanted to take a minute and show you guys exactly what worked for our family. Because if you're going to Disney in the next couple of years, this is going to be super helpful for you. So stay tuned. Okay, tip number 1. These are in no particular order. I'm just randomly picking them. My first tip is to get an outside stroller outside of Disney. Do not rent the Disney strollers because Disney strollers are like plastic shells. You are legitimately pushing around a shopping cart. There is no comfort, there's no felt, there's no parent console, there's no cup holders, there's no spots underneath where you could put all your extra clothes or diapers or drinks or anything like that. When you rent an outside stroller, you get things like this. We rented from Kingdom Strollers. This is the Summit and it's a double. And here's the reason why we chose the Summit. Because it's got this third little spot right there. See, it's actually for feet. It's a little foot holder, but we actually put a kid there. So we would push 1, 2, and the third kid would sit her butt right there. We would push all 3 on this stroller. We essentially turned our double side-by-side stroller into a minivan. Yes, Michaela is 7 years old and she walked around a lot of the time, but it got to 100 degrees and Disney was jam-packed. I think they were almost at max capacity when we were there. And so it was a lot safer for us to keep all 3 kids contained in one stroller. We could give them drinks, we could give them snacks, and they were much happier when we were able to push them from point A to point B, and it didn't take a long time. And we weren't maneuvering, all trying to squeeze all through all these random people coming at you because we just had one stroller and we like plowed through nicely. We nicely plowed, but we plowed and it was awesome. So if you're going to do something like this, I'll probably even do it next year when Michaela's 8 and the boys are 4 because it worked out so awesome. And I don't really care if anybody's like, hey, Natalie, why are you letting an 8-year-old in a stroller? And I'm going to be like, you know why? Because it's awesome. Wouldn't you want to be in a stroller and get pushed if you could be, right? Okay, so that's tip number 1. Kingdom Strollers, amazing customer service. I'm just saying they were fantastic and the stroller was amazing. It was also bicycle wheels with tons of storage and a parent console, tons baby stuff and diapers and all sorts of stuff everywhere. It didn't matter. We jam-packed that thing and it was fantastic. Tip number 2, my best tip and the most important thing that really saved us money and saved my sanity during the planning process was to book a agent that specialized with Disney, not just specialized, but had a massive passion for what she did. So Carrie was our agent. She was at Magical Dream Journeys and she was highly recommended to us. That's just a little back there. I will tag her below in this video in case anybody has any questions. Here's what she did. Look at this magicalness. She created all these little cards. Every card had a day. It was highlighted. It was color coded. And that's upside down. And on there was things like catch bus around 8 a.m. So she planned when we needed to get to our bus stop so that we were able to get to our restaurant, our reservations on time. She booked all of our fast passes. Fast passes are where you don't have to stand in the long 1:20 lineup for Space Mountain. You can get on it in like 5 or 10 minutes. It's awesome. Everybody gets 3 of them a day. And she booked our fast passes for us. She planned out an itinerary on where we need to go. See, it says Space Mountain. You can't see that right now, but it says Space Mountain 9:45 to 10:45. And then she's got like a little list of all the rides that she thought that would suit our family with 2 3-year-olds and a 7-year-old. And our restaurant reservations with the reservation number on there, like everything. And she did this for every single day that we were there. She booked our reservations for us. She booked our hotel and saved us a ton of money. And here's the reason. So we had booked we booked the Disney vacation, and I had already mostly paid it off. And then she calls me out of the blue and says, "Natalie, I saved you $500. Guess what? You only owe $200 US now." It was fantastic. She was always watching out for us and checking to see what deals were popping up, what would suit us, and really had our vacation in mind. She is very passionate about what she was doing, saved us money, saved my sanity, and like met me in person and told me what needs to be done and what to expect and how to plan out our Disney meals properly. Like, she was fantastic. So definitely get a Disney agent. It doesn't cost you any more than if you were to book it yourself, and they're watching out for you, so they could do your booking for you. You just tell them what you want, they do it for you. It's amazing. And they answer all your questions, because here's the other thing about Disney. I didn't go for like 10 years, and now they've got an app. They're like all technology advanced, and there's like magic wristbands, you scan them, and this is how you do this. And I had no idea, and I didn't want to know. She was the one that combed through and told me what we need to know when, so that we had no surprises. It was fantastic. Boom shakalaka. This is tip number 3, and it is a lifesaver. It's so simple, but yes, this is a popcorn container, and we got it on our first day that we were there at the Magic Kingdom. You can get them at any of your parks. All 4 parks have them. This right here, it costs $10, but it's refillable, which means that anytime you want to get popcorn, it's $1.50 to refill it up. So with 3 kids all sitting in a stroller, I don't know if your kids are like my kids at all, but my kids get hangry when they get hungry, and they are hungry for snacks all the time. All the time. And if they don't get them, there's no way they're going to stand in a line for an hour and 20 minutes to get on the new Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So we had this baby filled at least 3 or 4 times a day. Yes, my kids lived off popcorn. So what? It worked. So we would fill this up, and anytime the kids started complaining that they were hungry, boom, mouthful of popcorn for you. Try complaining when you have popcorn in your mouth. You can't. You can only be happy. So this thing saved us a ton of money. Get it on your first day, and you can refill it at any of the 4 parks. And because you have your stroller, you can easily just slip it underneath in the storage compartment. Boom. You could also fill it up with other things so that it's not just popcorn. You can put your fruit in there, cut up some apples and stuff. I don't know, but we used it for popcorn. 4th tip is Disney now doesn't have, I don't know if you're a child of the 80s, but if you've ever walked around Disney back then, they would have like the Disney characters, they would walk all around, and you just randomly be going up to a ride, and boom, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are boom, right there. It doesn't work that way anymore. They're way too busy, and they probably, if they did that, they'd be clamored people all over the place. So what they do now is that you have to go and meet them, which means standing in line as if it was a ride. And it sucks. There's no way that I want to stand in line for an hour and 20 minutes to see Mickey Mouse. No. But if you book character meals, so restaurants that have the characters that go around, they come to you. You don't have to stand in line, and you get to get your autograph and your picture taken with the characters, and you don't have to go stand in line at Epcot for an hour to hopefully get a picture with Mickey Mouse. So that is my next tip. Book a couple of character meals. It's worth it, especially if you have the dining plan, because it doesn't cost any money, and you get to meet the characters, and it's really special, and it's a really cool memory to have the characters come up to you while you're eating dinner or eating breakfast. And there's amazing character meals. You could eat in the Magic Kingdom. You could eat in the Be Our Guest Castle with Belle and the Beast. There's so many amazing ones, but you need to be on top of it so that you can get your reservations. My next tip is, when it stops being fun, leave. I know it seems obvious, but so many times I had this dream and this thought that we were going to be spending all day at Disney, and at the end we were going to be there, we're going to see all the fireworks, and it's going to be magical. And you know what? Our kids just started getting tired. And once they started getting tired and cranky and popcorn didn't work anymore and they were hot, we would leave. So you could always leave. You take the bus or the monorail, and then if you want to go back, take a break, enjoy some time, watch TV, let your kids take a nap. And then if you want to go watch the fireworks, you could go and take the bus back. Or if you're staying around Disney, quite often we were able to see the fireworks from our resort. So we spent most of our time watching the fireworks from our resort, and then that way we didn't have to climb through everybody to try to rush home, back to the bus, so that we could get on the bus and get back to our resort within a decent time. So we watched the fireworks primarily from our hotel, and the kids still loved it. Okay, so here's another one I have for you. So if you are staying at a Disney resort that needs to take a bus to and from the parks, I believe most of them you do have to take a bus to certain parks anyways. But if you are, request to get a room close to the front or the first bus stop. Here's the reason why. We had a bus stop that was third. And oftentimes in the morning when we're getting ready to go to the Magic Kingdom, we're waiting for our bus, and when our bus comes, it's already packed full, where we now have to hold our stroller and the children and not fall over and flat on our faces. So next time I'm asking for her near the front stop, so that I know that at the very least my kids can get a spot. Lots of times adults would stand up and give our kids a seat, but there was a few times that wasn't even an option, and I literally had a child wrapped around each leg holding on for dear life as the buses were flying. So ask for a place close to the front. I've lost count, so I don't know what tip we're at. But my next one is to download the Disney app onto your smartphones and buy the memory maker. If you have an agent, they will often do this, or it will already be included in your plan. But if not, download the app and get the memory maker. And here's why. Because all throughout the park, there is photographers at main areas that you would want to get a picture. So for instance, as you're walking into Magic Kingdom, there's about 15 or 20 photographers taking pictures of people standing in front of the castle, right? Because everybody wants that picture. So this way you can get all those pictures. You scanned your wristband, which looks like, we didn't use these, we got colored ones, but these are the ones they gave us. You scan your wristband that they give you, boom, and the picture that they took doesn't cost you anything, and it's uploaded directly onto your app. Yeah. So right away, well, within 10 minutes or so, you can start getting all of your pictures. Not only that, but Disney Magic somehow makes it so like when you go on Splash Mountain, it knows you're there. I don't know how it knows. It like scans the bands or something, but it takes pictures. And when you see, and your pictures go automatically, boom, onto your app. It's free, and you get to keep all the pictures. It downloads them all for you, and you get 30 days to download all your pictures when you get home. But you can also save them onto your phone, so you could post and share and do all that cool stuff while you're there in the park, standing in line. I have 2 more tips, I promise. Stick with me, people. Here's a huge one that we did that really was fantastic. Okay, so when you do the dining plan, everybody gets one of these. It's a refillable mug you get for free. And anytime you're at your resort, you can go over to your drink thing. You can fill up pop or water or ice or whatever you want to do. You put it in there, except for alcohol. That ain't free, and it's expensive. So everybody gets one of these and they can refill it. It's fantastic, but the problem is they don't allow free refills at the park. Not only that, but it spills, which means my kids were spilling all over themselves. So I'm very glad that I brought a couple of these bad boys, because I would fill up the drink in here and then I would go bing, And then we all had leak-free drinks that stayed cold all day because these things are fantastic. They keep everything cold for like 800 hours. It's insane. It's really only like 5 hours, but it's cool. And because of the stroller, boom, you just put it underneath and everybody has cold drinks all day and it doesn't cost you money. Last tip, people. Okay, so Disney understands that a lot of times we're going to Disney and we have one older child and one smaller child, or several, in my case, several of the little ones, and not everybody is tall enough to go on the rides. Example, Space Mountain. My boys were like that much too short for Space Mountain. They were sad because they love roller coasters, and Michaela was tall enough to go. So when we went on Space Mountain, we didn't want to make the boys stand in line for an hour to go on a ride that they wouldn't be able to go on. So what Disney does is if you go up, you ask the front attendant that's there letting people onto the rides, ask for a rider switch pass. It might be rider swap pass, swap or switch, rider switch, I think. Ask for one of those. They give you this card, and that means that after you've gone on your ride, the parent that was off waiting with the boys or with your little ones or with the babies, they can now take the older child and go on the ride, which means the older child got to ride Space Mountain twice. And Mike didn't miss out on Space Mountain, which is awesome because who wants to miss out on Space Mountain, right? So ask for a rider switch rather than making your little one stand in line. And that way one can go take the kids off to go get ice cream or cotton candy or a treat. And the other ones can go on the ride and you don't have to wait in line twice. It's awesome. Anyways, that's my tips. I hope they help. I'll post Carrie's information below in case anybody needs a Disney agent because she is amazing. And it's not even that she's good at what she does because she is, but she has a passion for it. And you really feel that when you talk to her, that she really wants the best for you. So she's awesome. And I've already talked to her about booking Disney vacation number 2 because she just made everything so easy. So that's it. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you have an amazing Disney vacation. Ours was off the charts and I can't wait to do it all again. Talk to you guys later. Bye.